I'm not a property guy. I invest in real estate because I can use fake money called debt. And the more debt I use, I don't pay any taxes. And with the money I don't pay in taxes, so, well, I could pay a lot. I buy gold, silver, and today Bitcoin. I'm not saying you guys should do that, but that's what I'm doing.
Robert Kiyosaki is an entrepreneur, investor, financial knowledge activist, and of course, the author of bestselling Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a book that has transformed the way that millions of people across the globe talk about money and sold more than 40 million copies worldwide, described as the #1 personal finance book of all time. Robert is appearing at a free live stream Global Crisis Summit this week, a live online conference that people can attend by registering at crisislivestream.com. But before then, Robert, welcome to TCN TV.
No, thank you. Thank you. Anyway, I just love your country, love your people.
Well, that's very kind. And I must say, we love your book and the world loves your book. It was first published in 1997. What do you think has really made it resonate with so many people around the world, and why has it stayed relevant for so long?
Well, because most people take lessons from poor people like my poor dad, PhDs, and those guys are pathetic. PhD stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. Now, education's important, but what did they ever teach you about money? So when I was 9 years old, I realized I had an incompetent teacher called my old man. And that's called disrespectful. For Japanese, that's real disrespectful. And I said, hey, Dad, you can't teach me because you don't know anything about money. So that's when I went to find my best friend's father, and he was an entrepreneur. So I learned to be an entrepreneur more than anything else from my rich dad, whereas my poor dad was an employee. That's the difference. And so people know today, especially, you've got to be an entrepreneur. You've got to be.
Robert, what do you believe are some of the biggest misconceptions that most people have about money?
Taxes are your single largest expense, and you better understand taxes. So when somebody says that I'm an entrepreneur, I go, well, most entrepreneurs, if they don't have any financial education, like let's say a doctor, a lawyer, a small business guy, they pay the highest taxes of all. Whereas I know he's a swear word, my buddy is Donald Trump. We don't pay taxes because we're not only entrepreneurs, we're investors.
Robert, we're also watching what you're doing, and you have predicted that the dollar is dying and that people should be buying Bitcoin. Now, with all the volatility that's surrounding cryptocurrencies, do you really think that these can be called a safe investment?
Well, let me give you my answer to that. You got to step back. Here I'm an old guy, and being an old guy, I learned everything about money playing Monopoly, and I'm still playing Monopoly today.
I love Monopoly.
Yeah, I know. It's one of the best games. That's how my rich dad taught me about money. 4 green houses.
Can I just quickly ask, which little character do you choose when you're playing, if you have a choice?
I always want to be the banker.
Nice. I liked the little Scotty dog myself.
Yeah, I like the race car. But
Lovely.
Anyway, old guys like me played for fake paper money. And us old guys, the baby boomers, are still saving fake paper money. It's called the US dollar or the Aussie dollar or the Kiwi. You know what I mean? And when Buffett dumped banking stocks, it's gone. So what happens is there's a millennial generation, which you're probably on the cusp of right now, is that you guys grew up on e-games and you guys are used to cyber money. You know what I mean? So your generation is cyber money and my generation is fake monopoly money. So the reason I like Bitcoin is because as the US federal, the problem is the Fed and the US Treasury. I'm not blaming your banks because the Fed and the Treasury, they're the reserve currency of the world. So what's happening now so I'll step back. As they print more money, Bitcoin gets tighter. They print less Bitcoin. So the techies, the kids of your generation, they trust Bitcoin more than they trust the US government. I don't trust the US government. I don't trust the banking system. And when Buffett, here's something, he dumped all banks. Now, if that doesn't send shivers through your spine, then you shouldn't be in business. What does Buffett do? Not what he says. Big difference.
Okay, Robert. Now, this is really, everything you've outlined is really sounding like a bit of a shake-up in financial markets. It's also been called a once-in-a-lifetime buying opportunity. Why do you believe this is the case, and where are you seeing the biggest opportunities at the moment if it's not banks or monopoly?
I'd be on YouTube.
And here
You
we
know,
are.
I mean, yeah, I know. That's the future. So I look at YouTube and all that. I go, I was talking to this kid. He says, why am I in school? I said, I don't know. He's like 19. I said, how much are you making? He said, 72,000 a month on YouTube.
Wow.
And I went, so he's buying real estate.
Okay.
You know, I mean, why does he need a job?
Robert, before you found success as a best-selling author, you actually had 2 business failures, companies that you founded, including making Velcro wallets for surfers and t-shirts for heavy metal rock bands, clearly proving that entrepreneurial spirit that you mentioned. But what advice would you give people now on how to persevere and to keep a positive mindset in the face of this disruption that we're seeing and the challenges?
Entrepreneurship is the way to go, except our school system still programs you to be, you know, an employee or a doctor or a lawyer, and they pay the highest taxes. You know, if you're a true entrepreneur like my buddy Trump, I know he's hated, but we don't pay taxes because we're real estate guys, but we're entrepreneurs first, and then we acquire real estate, and because we acquire real estate, we use the tax laws to not pay taxes. Your country, my country, Europe, Japan, Mexico, same tax law. It's always in the tax law. The rich control the world via taxes.
Let's leave on a positive note for entrepreneurs. What would be your top tips for those that now decide, I want to be an entrepreneur? What does Robert say for them to do to make it as an entrepreneur?
Choose your teachers wisely. You know, I wouldn't go to college. I don't listen to fake teachers. Most PhDs have no idea what they're talking about. You know, they haven't done a damn thing. They haven't made any mistakes, but they're telling you how to be an entrepreneur, and they haven't made any mistakes. I'm public about, you know, I lost my nylon and surfer wallet business, and then I went to rock and roll, and then I just kept making mistakes, and that's why I know so much.
Well, Robert, thank you so much for your legendary insights today. And I know for all those that want to hear more, they need to register at www.crisislivestream.com for complimentary access to hear you this weekend. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Now, if you like what you see, please be sure to like and share the video, subscribe to TCN TV, and drop us a comment. Tell us who you would like to see next and what you would like me to ask them. Or if you're an investor, send us an email so we can keep you up to date with the latest ideas to empower.